Welcome back to the Inspiration Station podcast, brought to you by the Charles Chang Institute for Entrepreneurship. In the last episode, we unleashed the entrepreneurial mindset and learned that everybody is an entrepreneur in their own way. In this episode, we take a closer look at one of the mindset attributes from the perspective of two entrepreneurs who are working to revolutionize the industry of agriculture. Get ready for our next stop on the Innovation Express. Welcome back to the Inspiration Station podcast. My name is Carson Keller. I am your host, and I am beyond excited for today's episode. You'll find out why in just a second, but before we get into today's podcast, let me introduce you to our wonderful guests. So, are you ready to step into a world where innovation and sustainability converge? Today, we have not one, but two special guests whose groundbreaking work is one day going to revolutionize the way we grow and consume food. Today, we invite you to embark on a journey of discovery with us, a journey that explores the potential of smart indoor gardening to transform the lives of individuals living in small spaces. Imagine having the ability to cultivate your own fresh produce right at home while minimizing water consumption and reducing environmental impact. Our guests, a visionary and an entrepreneur, are the mastermind behind this transformative concept. As the founders of Uprooted Agriculture, they have dedicated their passion and expertise to creating a solution that empowers people to take control of food production and embrace a sustainable lifestyle. Harnessing the power of hydroponic growing methods, LED lighting, and climate control, their innovative indoor gardens offer a practical and efficient approach to growing nutrient-rich crops. By embracing this technology, individuals can not only enjoy the pleasure of harvesting their own food, but also contribute to a greener future by reducing the ecological footprint associated with traditional farming practices. This summer, our extraordinary guest is participating in the Charles Chang Institute for Entrepreneurship's Summer eCoop, an opportunity to further refine their vision, expand their impact, and inspire others to join the movement towards a sustainable agriculture future. Today, we would like to welcome Sam and Bran to the Innovation Express. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. I guess I just want to learn a little bit about you guys. So, I guess starting with Sam, tell me about yourself and go for it. Hello.
Hi, I'm Sam. I am one of the co-founders of Uprooted Agriculture. I am the eCoop student. I'm in mechatronic systems engineering and business administration at SFU. I've been doing the double degree program, so I've been in school for a very long time at this point, but I'm in my last year, which is awesome. So excited, and I'm doing my last co-op, which is the eCoop, which has been such a cool experience. So yeah, really excited to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. And hello, Bran.
Hi. So I'm actually grad from MSc Mechatronics here in Surrey. I'm now in terms of career, I'm a test engineer. I'm an EIT, and I'm really into robots, to be honest with you. I specialize in robotics and everything. So that's a little bit about me. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I can definitely see how your interest in robotics can carry over into uprooted agriculture.
Yeah, a lot of automation.
That's awesome. Yeah. I guess my first question that pops right into mind right away is how did the design of your product, or how will the design of your product sort of complement that passion of yours?
For me personally, a lot of it will require us to automate a lot of, as you mentioned, those variables like light, humidity, temperature. A lot of that has to be controlled, and the part of making it easy for people to do is to, not make them do it. So that has to be automated. And basically robotics is automation. They go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. So basically getting to do that is my dream.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I could imagine that's a very technical venture that you guys are on.
Yes.
But I think for our audience, I think it's important for them to know what inspired this journey and what brought you guys together to create Uprooted Agriculture.
Yeah, so for me, I've always been very passionate about sustainability and healthy living in general. So one of the reasons why I had even gone into engineering was to, be part of a career that incorporates sustainable technology into urban areas. And at first I thought I'd do like renewable energy or maybe electric vehicles, but I started to realize how important green spaces were to me, and that came part of that came from my passion of hiking and stuff and just being outside. I love to be amongst nature, and like I just find that I'm in so much of a better mood when I'm surrounded by green spaces. So I tried to incorporate that in my own home, but I was really struggling to keep plants alive. That's not my strong suit. I'd hate to admit it. So then I thought, like, how cool would it be if I had a device that could do this for me and help me maintain it? And that's where the initial idea of like growing indoors came from. And then I also happen to have a rice allergy and corn allergy, which makes it really hard to get processed foods that don't upset my stomach and give me an allergic reaction.
Okay.
So I have to eat a lot of whole foods, and I find that even with the whole foods, I will have allergic reactions randomly too. So I wanted to be able to grow my own food from home, and I thought, well, if I'm already wanting to grow plants at home, why don't I just do like agriculture at home too? So that's kind of where, for me, this idea came from. And Bran kind of came up with the idea simultaneously too.
Yeah,
in his own
actually,
way.
a fortunate thing for us is all three of our founders, because there's a third one as well, he's just not here today. We all kind of independently came to this idea. Like, we all wanted to do this, and we just kind of through conversation we're like, hey, this is kind of neat. We've been thinking about something like this as well. So then I think it's like the best case scenario, you know, three people having similar ideas coming together to work together. But for me, same thing, you know, struggle growing anything. And part of it was I recently got a snake plant, and those are really easy to grow.
Yes.
I just seeing it grow, I was like, that's so nice. Like, I wish I could do this more. And that's kind of like the hobbyist growing section, but like the more like drive to agriculture is more because, you know, growing up and everything, you know, you don't have to pay for your food or anything, but now I have to start paying for my food and stuff, and seeing how much it costs and the cost of living healthy genuinely is pretty high. And like, I'm an engineer in my career, like I'm an EIT, and I make an engineer's salary, but in Vancouver, you know, it's not enough to feel comfortable, and like that upsets me because I don't want to like disclose too much, but I make enough money that I'm happy with it, but it's not enough for me to live comfortably in Vancouver at all. Like, I'm still, you know, like basically every other Vancouverite.
Yeah.
Right? So like that kind of frustrated me because I do still think that I'm more fortunate than most, and I know that like I don't represent the average Canadian, and I know they must be struggling. So that really upsets me because, you know, like I want people to be able to do well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of it for me.
I love that you've taken something that you are very lucky to have, and you're working to transform it for other people.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
totally.
and I think as somebody who likely will find myself living in a small space in the future, given the nature of Vancouver's living situation, I think just the vertical approach that you've taken to gardening, it's going to revolutionize a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And I guess my next question sort of comes directly from that. How did you come up with the vertical idea, like the idea of vertical gardening? Where did that come from?
Well, okay, so part of that is what we're talking about. In Vancouver, it's so hard to find space that's affordable for you to rent or to buy. And I find that the condos are getting smaller and smaller, especially for like what the average person can afford. So it's not likely that somebody will want to give up so much of their square footage to a large garden, right? And to grow all of that, because you have such limited space.
Yeah.
And I find that that's a struggle I've been having myself too. So the reason why we were leaning towards vertical is because it is a more efficient use of your space so that you can have a large yield of food, but without having to give up so much for it.
That is such a genius idea.
Thank you.
Such a genius idea.
Well, it's pretty commonly practiced. Like, even if you look around us, like all these buildings, right, they go vertical because land horizontally is expensive and it's hard to, right? But when you go vertical, you obviously have a new, like, unexplored axis, right, that you can build into and everything. So you can definitely get more density out of it as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What does that sound? I think it is time for the Mindset Matters Minute. Now, you guys don't know what this is. Okay. This is completely like unplanned, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what the Mindset Matters Minute is, it happens every single podcast episode. We are going to pull a term from the entrepreneurial mindset supported by the Charles Chang Institute for Entrepreneurship. Okay. And there are 12 of these that sort of help drive entrepreneurs in their journey. They are attributes, they are terms, they are things that as entrepreneurs, we hold near and dear to our hearts. So I'm going to present the two of you with one word, and you will each get 1 minute to provide your definition of what that word is by providing a story, providing the textbook definition of whatever that means to you, and you'll have 1 minute to do that.
Okay.
Cool.
Are we game?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm game. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with Sam, and then
Okay.
we'll go over to Bran.
Sounds good.
So your word is collaboration. Go.
Okay. Definition from my perspective of collaboration, I think, time's starting now.
No.
Okay. Okay, for collaboration, I think that is just multiple people with multiple different perspectives all coming together and working towards the same goal, or else even just helping each other achieve their goals. And I don't know if I should talk about how that applies to our company
Go
or
for
not, but I think for us at least, it was like, even with this, like we all have a similar idea, but like we all came to it in a different way. So just being able to collaborate on that and being able to, compromise features that maybe like I had an idea for that Bran wanted something different for or whatever. Like I think just being able to compromise and support each other with each other's goals and just coming together and really working and just
That's great.
support and encouragement.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think you did a great job of answering the question. I think we can stop the timer. Beautiful.
Thank you.
I think we can stop there.
Okay.
Good, great response. I think I do have something that just popped into my mind that I think I want to address. I want to pull a little bit more from you.
Okay.
You made mention of coming together from a bunch of different areas. Now I understand that you both have very different backgrounds at SFU. I'm curious, how did you guys come together in the first place? Like you all thought of this on your own, but where's the miracle?
Oh.
Yeah, well, okay, so I know Bran from Mechatronics,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
were in the same friend group.
Yeah.
And this has been something that I've been kind of passionate about for a while, so I have been kind of like sharing that idea amongst my friends.
Okay.
And then also just like talking about food insecurity and social impact and like just stuff that's going on in the world. That's kind of how those conversations came up. So for me and Bran, we were just having one of those conversations, and that's when he also shared that he had a similar idea, which was really cool. And then I think we were with Ryan at like last summer.
Yeah, we were at a party or something. I think she was
Yeah.
throwing the party, and Ryan's a childhood friend of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's had experience working in agriculture for Agriculture Canada, doing some basic testing of products and stuff,
Okay.
or whatever. So he's a really well-rounded guy too. So I was like, right away, my mind went to him because he's talked about actually he grows stuff anyway. He's always had a garden since I've known him. He grows vegetables and everything.
That's awesome.
And he recently was doing an indoor garden anyway. And I was like, dude, I'm trying to build one myself. And I'm thinking about optimizing it, automating it. He's like, I like the sounds of that. And then kind of the three of us at that party then kind of shared these ideas. And then,
That's awesome.
yeah, it all stemmed from there.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And that just goes to show that you don't need to be in a dedicated business program or a dedicated program of development to come up with these ideas and come together. It happened at a party.
Yeah.
Of all places.
Yeah, so casual.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love
Exactly.
that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great segue into your definition of what collaboration means to you.
One
Okay.
minute.
So for me, collaboration also it does mean working together, and I guess as a whole trying to achieve something better. It also means not putting others down. If you're collaborating with people, you're trying to pick out the best from each without putting anyone down, right? Because that's one thing I've always thought of is you always want to be bringing each other up, because if you don't, if someone has a strong suit here, for example, Ryan's very good with our actual agriculture, I don't know anything, but I learned through him. So through him actually developing and working, I actually get to educate myself as well. Same with Sam, she's very good at engineering, but business as well. So there's a lot that I get to learn from us just collaborating and coming together. So yeah, I'd say that's kind of it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like what you brought up about teaching each other, because
Yeah.
I think that has also
Yeah.
been really important. Like all the things that you can learn from other people on your
Yeah.
team too.
I think that is one of the most important things actually when you're coming together from a variety of different backgrounds, even if some of you do have similar, but everyone has something they can learn from each other.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's definitely something we saw, going in mechatronics, right? It's quite a diverse engineering field. It's mechanical, electrical, and kind of computer and software. So typically when we worked on projects anyway, somebody would have a strong suit in mechanical, electrical, or whatever. I was mechanical personally. I was mechanical specialty. So whenever we would work together, that's how we did it. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And look where you guys are now.
Yeah, so it's really easy for us to do this. It's like,
Yeah,
you
right?
take your thing, I'll take my thing, no worries, yeah.
So now tell me, so you're in the eCoop program right now.
Yes.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, the eCoop program is a great way for people in your shoes to grow their business.
Yeah.
So I want to know, how has the eCoop program so far, how's it been? Because you're not even done a month yet.
Yeah.
And I've seen you in the office doing some great work.
Thank you.
And I kind of want to know, like, where has it taken you, and how has eCoop at the Chang Institute supported Uprooted Agriculture?
Yeah. Well, for me, I've always felt so scared to start the business. Like, I've had this idea for quite a few years now, but like, I was like, oh, I'm a student. I don't have enough time to work on my own business. And there was always like a reason why, like, not to do it, or like I wasn't far enough along in my research at that point. So I was like so scared to do it. But then being in the eCoop program, I think it's given me such a cool opportunity to do it while I'm still studying and be able to dedicate that time to it. And like, the other thing too, I was so intimidated. I thought I had to be so much further along in my business, but they really are giving me all the support I need in these early stages, which is so nice, because I didn't really know where to start at certain times, especially with market research. Like, there's so much more to market research than I realized. And I think the mentorship that you get through eCoop, and even just talking to the other eCoop students and learning about their experience and stuff, has been so rewarding. And our mentor, Doug, has given us so much good advice and recommendations that we've been following. And I just feel like it's been really, really nice to have all of that support.
That's great to hear. That is great to hear. And just knowing that you've taken full advantage of everything that's been offered to you so far. And that's great to hear. And also, I feel like there's one other piece of the project, or one other piece of the pie, that you get paid to work on this as well.
Yeah.
That you get money to put towards your venture, which is something that is incredibly useful and a great resource that can help support you as well.
Yeah. And that's super unique. Like, I haven't heard of anything like that, especially in a university. So I think that's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And if you have anything to add about
Well, I was gonna say, like, I'm an alum, so it's same thing as her, except I didn't think that I could even actually like work with them. But I found out that even after like she graduates, we still actually have access to all the resources for up to 2 years after, which is fantastic. It gave me a lot of peace of mind that I don't have to rush to get everything done in 4 months. Right? I can take time and work with them and everything.
Exactly. And I think that one thing that our audience needs to hear, especially given that they're all they might be new students, they might be in their 4th year, they might be somewhere in between, is to just go for it.
Yeah.
To really, you have a passion. What are you doing to achieve that? In your vision board or your long-term goal, what action pieces have you taken to achieve that goal?
Yeah.
And there are resources available to you to help achieve your goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. No matter where you are, at SFU or in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that you guys are actually going out there and presenting the resources, because I had no idea this was even possible. So it's definitely like jump-started my life plan quite a bit. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're starting to run out of time here. So I just have one last question to ask you guys. You've been on such wonderful journeys, the two of you, but I'm going to ask an individual question. Aside from Uprooted Agriculture, what is next for you?
Aside from Uprooted Agriculture,
Any additional side hustle, any additional passion? Like, where are you in your journey right now?
Okay.
And what are you going to do to get there?
Well, right now I am very close to graduating. I have been in school for, I think, 7 years at this point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a long haul.
The double major definitely will do that to you.
Yeah, so I am just, honestly, I haven't had a single semester off. I am so excited to be, I know, it's not fun.
Oh my God, tell me about it.
Yeah, so I'm just honestly so excited to be done with school and have a little bit of time to myself. Like, I don't want to throw myself too much into work, but I also want to, keep working on this business.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a really good time in my life to be here too, because I've planned to take some time to myself and not have to jump into a career or job. So now I have time to keep working on this business as I graduate and like follow my passions. And like you said, like I've always been passionate about sustainability in general, and now I've always been like, well, what am I really doing to see that change and like make that change? And now I feel like I'm actually, following my dream and doing something that I've been wanting to do for years and years. And also I would like to travel a little bit.
Yes, take advantage of it.
Yeah,
yes.
so I've been thinking about like Southeast Asia, and of course like the nice thing with this too is that I can also work while I'm away too.
Yes.
Like I can work on my business and start my business wherever I am. So I think having that flexibility is going to be awesome. Yeah.
That's
I'm
great.
very excited.
That's great. And yes, 100% do go travel and do take advantage of all the opportunities that are presented to you, because given that we are all quite young still, we have so much growth to do and so much to take in. And I feel like any opportunity that's ever presented to you, take it.
Yeah.
Take it. And I feel like you're definitely going to be taking advantage of all of those, given that you're so close to graduation.
So close.
You're on such a great path. I'm so excited to see what's next.
Thank you.
And what about you, Bran?
Basically just leading off of what you said, growing, basically just that. I just want to continue to grow. I'm in a good place in my career. I work for a good company. I learn a lot from them every day, so I'm working there as well as working on this. So just continue to learn and hone my skills as an engineer and everything, and just as a person overall, better myself as good as I can. Travel, I guess, too, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on our podcast today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much
It was a
for
pleasure
being
being
here.
here, yeah.
And we will see you on the next episode of the Inspiration Station.